Okay, on a real quick, uh, I just want to make sure we hit on a couple things. Can you elaborate on Andrew Yang's policy on student debt? Because as I had said, we've said it a couple times, but I was blessed. I didn't really even understand student debt until I left college, and I was like, wait, I don't have to pay anyone. I'm cool, but my friend has to pay the school back 40 grand or pay Sally Mae like 50 G's. Okay, I can start something for myself and I start from scratch. Kids my age are shafted with this stuff. It's like, okay, you're in your most formidable years where you want to choose a career, but shit, no, you got to lock into a job you might hate. Especially when it's just crazy to me.
Yeah. He's got a sort of this multi-pronged approach on how he would solve student loan crisis first and foremost. But there's also a thing that he wants to wrap all of our heads around as it relates to education and how we view it and what we can do with it. So he really appreciates the spirit of free college for all, which a number of his opponents are offering, right?
Free public.
Free public, that's true. Free public college for all.
So UMass would be free.
Yeah. UMass, I came from the University of California system, that type of thing as well. So while that makes sense, here's the thing. 32% of Americans have a college degree. Proportionally, that hasn't changed much since. Maybe someone could argue that partly because of the steep costs, that's why it's leveled off. But of the people who actually do finish college, I think the number is like 44% of them are underemployed. So they got a college degree, but then they didn't end up using it for what they thought they would use it for. So, and I'm not saying that, okay, let's just say it's a liberal arts degree person and they're now working for a company that has nothing to do with humanities or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person, my own friends who went to UCLA, got a prestigious degree in biology or electrical engineering, and they're currently bartending or they're a Starbucks manager. Okay. So fully underemployed. They went to school, but they're not doing anything with that degree whatsoever.
It's a scam, dude.
So
it's ridiculous.
Exactly. And then on top of that, let's talk about the fact that, so I think it's like 59%. No, that's not right. Yeah, 59% of people who go to school complete it. So there's like 4 out of 10 of us who never finish.
It just doesn't make sense to me that you go to school for so much money. Like right now, like some of these schools are like $65K a year. You go because you want to be a functioning member of society. Yep. You show up, you work hard, you do all the papers that end up not even being applicable to anything you're actually going to do in the workplace, even if it is the same major. You get that done, and then you leave, and then it's like, oh, wait, you did your job on being a good member of society, but you got to give us $100K.
Yeah. What the hell?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
YouTube University, man.
Hello. Or Khan Academy.
Oh, Khan Academy. Sponsor.
So, there's so many different ways that we can educate ourselves now. So there's a whole other conversation, we get some Hennessy for it maybe, about how we can get educational attainment that doesn't need to go through the traditional constructs of education. That's a whole other conversation that Andrew can talk about. But the interesting thing is that we're selling this idea, and I'm not saying that not everyone deserves to go to college, but it's continuing to perpetuate the idea that college is the end-all, the be-all, end-all, right? If you go to college, you're going to get this lucrative career or this successful career, however you define success. That's really the only pathway by which you can do that. But that's okay. Not the case, right? And we have our own personal stories. We've got the statistics where kids are graduating and then they end up never actually using their degree. And yet there are really phenomenal vocations, jobs out there that are actually really well paying. We'll talk about the plumber. They get like average is like $60,000 a year. And so I had to go to school, and then I'm out now being a Starbucks barista.
They actually make bread, but if you're a barista, no. But the managers make some bread. I'm friends with the manager. He's actually doing okay.
But how many years did it take for that person to finally get there?
That's a fact.
Right? As opposed to, you know what? Forget college. I'm going to go straight to the vocational school that my high school has a relationship with. I will actually come out with an apprenticeship before I even graduate, and I'll already be making money as soon as I put the tassel on the other side, right? We currently, the number of students that we have going through vocational training is something like 5 or 6% in America. And in Germany, it's 59%. We're not saying that everybody should be funneled to go
or a welder
into vocational training, but it clearly there is a dearth of workers who are in that space right now, and we desperately need more and more of them. And yet there's becoming this stigma of vocational training, that's kind of a blue collar job, that's not going to be worth anything in society. And actually, I can't fix my own toilet. So, yeah, this person is highly valuable to me.
I'm going to hire Mario.
Yeah. Or Luigi. And so there is an aspect of that. And I think that's where, people say that Andrew is kind of a one policy guy, but you can't help, again, realize the simplicity and the elegance of it is, the freedom dividend for that 17, 18-year-old kid can decide for him or herself what to do with it. Hey, you know what? I do want to go to college. I want to get this degree in architecture or in electrical engineering. So I'm going to be able to partially or maybe fully pay for my tuition depending on where I go, but I have that choice. I want to go to community college, and I can partially fund or fully fund it because that is my choice. Or I can just go to vocational training. And so he trusts Americans to make that kind of decision.
Do you?
I do, because I know a lot of people who I ask them now, 15 years later, it's like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have gone to university.